This year marks the 55th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Sri Lanka and Vietnam. And over decades, we have witnessed significant collaborations across various sectors, enriching both countries. A notable aspect of Vietnam's socio-economic landscape is the remarkable participation of women in the workforce. As of 2023, women constitute approximately 48.6% of the total labour force, reflecting a substantial contribution to Vietnam's impressive economic growth, averaging around 7% since 1990. Celebrating International Women's Month, we have with us Ambassador to Vietnam in Sri Lanka, Trinh Thi Tam, to shed light on how Vietnamese women have become an economic force. So it's Women's Month, and I thought it would be lovely to focus a little bit on women and Vietnamese women in particular. Now, they have historically played a significant role in the country's development. Now, how has their role evolved in terms of work, in terms of business and leadership?
In the old days, they used to manage households and work in traditional sectors like agriculture or family business. When the country was in wars, they joined the national struggle for independence and reunification. When peace was resumed, they actively entered the workforce and working in major sectors like agriculture, fisheries, husbandry, and even in state-owned enterprises. Since economic reform, or we call it đổi mới in Vietnamese, in 1980s, Vietnamese women have thrived in business, leading many SMEs and contributing significantly to the economy. In leadership, now we see more and more women hold political and executive positions in both central and local levels. So we can say that despite some obstacles, ongoing progress in gender equality continues to empower Vietnamese women in work, business, and leadership.
Madam Ambassador, what are the key industries where Vietnamese women are they engaged in, and how have they contributed to economic growth?
In agriculture, husbandry, and fisheries, they support food security and export. In manufacturing and textile sector, they form the backbone of Vietnam's garment industry and have to bring Vietnam into the group of leading garment exporters in the world. Retail and trade sectors also sees higher female entrepreneurship, boosting local economies. And today, more women are entering technology and startups, shaping Vietnam's digital economy. And even tourism and hospitality sector, they make a lot of contribution, helping to encourage international tourists to Vietnam. In addition, there's an increasing number of Vietnamese women working overseas, bringing remittance to the country. So we can see that Vietnamese women contribution to these key industries have to strengthen GDP, create jobs, enhance Vietnam's global competitiveness and image.
Now, Vietnam has one of the highest female labour force participations in the world in this region. What are the cultural and societal factors that actually enable such a strong presence of women in the workforce?
The first factor, I think that is thanks to the gender equality and women empowerment policies of the government. It's very consistent by Vietnamese governments recently. The second factor is the true liberation of women from traditional practice and belief that women should stay home, look after housework and children. And the third factor is the rapid economic development of Vietnam that requires the increasing participation of labor force of the whole society. And the fourth factor is the government support for labor rights and the social measures to help women to ensure work-family balance, including subsidies for childcare and elementary education.
Does the Vietnamese government have any kind of specific policies or incentives to attract more women into the workforce at leadership level and into entrepreneurship as well as to pursue careers?
Yes, we have, for sure. These policies and incentives are aimed at improving women's access to education and training, to promote their presentation in political and business leadership, The law on gender equality ensures equal rights for women and men. And SME receive financial aid and training, especially for female business women. Leadership quotas boost female representation in politics and administration. And maternity leave policy and childcare support help women to balance work and family. And recently, we have a very significant policy of increasing retirement age of women from 55 to 60. We applied it year up to year basis. So these efforts, I think that are helping women to reinforce their power in careers, business and leadership.
Does Vietnamese society, what sort of views do they have on working women? Are there any social and cultural and traditional barriers?
In general, Vietnamese society, values working women because you see, they contribute not only to the economy but also to support their families. I think that this practice is prevailing in major cities, including Hanoi, the capital, or Ho Chi Minh City, the big city in the south of Vietnam. However, in some remote and rural areas, there still exists deep-rooted thinkings and cultural norms that place high expectation on women, expect them to give priority to family and household duties. And in some sectors, such as leadership roles, technology, and politics, women may face barriers like gender bias, limited promotion opportunities, and societal pressure to balance work and family. So we can see that why women empowerment progress is being made very actively in Vietnam. Traditional views on gender roles continue to influence career advancement for women in many sectors.
Vietnamese women are known for their resilience and for their very strong work ethic. Have there been any cultural influences that have actually made this mindset?
Yeah, I agree with you that Vietnamese women are very resilient, not only at work but also in family and society. So there are some deep-rooted cultural and historical factors. So now we can list some like Vietnam. We suffer a long history of wars and even economic struggles. We even suffer from embargo from Western countries. So all of these conditions have to reinforce Vietnamese women, asking them to take more responsibilities both in family and society. During the wartime, they became soldiers, laborers, and leaders. In post-war periods, they contributed heavily to rebuilding the country. And in nowadays, we can see a lot of modern women. They are not only good at family, but also very good at their role in society, even in high position in political and administrative system of Vietnam.
As an ambassador, what would be your key message about Vietnamese women's contribution to society? And also, how do you think Sri Lanka and Vietnam can collaborate to empower more women, equality as well as empowerment into the workplace?
I would like to emphasize the significant contribution of women to a country's social and economic development, not only in Vietnam or Sri Lanka, but also in many places in the world. So you can see that women are the pillars of families, of the society. They contribute significantly to economic growth, leadership, and cultural heritage with resilience and determination. And importantly, their contribution has been widely recognized by families and society. So collaboration between Vietnam and Sri Lanka on women affairs could focus on sharing ideas, best practices, policies, and strategies in gender equality, women empowerment, women participation in workforce, joint initiatives in education, business and leadership training can help to further empower women in both Vietnam and Sri Lanka, not just only for the benefit of women, but for the benefit of our two countries.
Don't forget, Kaleidoscope is on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram and LinkedIn. Subscribe, follow and like us for more.